Good morning and welcome to the first group webinar of 2024 with Cornerstone. It's new and improved. As you can see, we're not going to read through all of the ads that we had last year, but that's been playing for you guys while you've been waiting. Today's guest will be Humana, going over life, dental, and vision updates, and they will also be introducing their new STD and LTD products. Before we get started, as a reminder, all questions should be put in the question box where we can address them at the end of the webinar. You can connect with Cornerstone on our social media and follow our Monday Minute newsletter. My information is also on the screen if you need to get in contact with me. Now I will turn it over to our friends at Humana.
All right, thank you. Hello and good morning to everyone. We appreciate you hopping on here today to hear about our enhanced capabilities and expanded portfolio. A special thank you to Cornerstone for putting this together. You guys are such great partners and we really appreciate it. Before we get started today, I just want to take a few minutes and do some introductions. We've got some other members from our team here. My name is Jolie Berge. I'm the Director of Sales for the North Region, and I'm responsible for our new business team. I've spent the majority of my career, which now is close to 20 years in the ancillary space, with almost 3 years here at Humana. I am physically located here in Louisville, Kentucky, but again, like I mentioned, responsible for the North Region. So Zach, I will turn it over to you.
I don't know if he's in, so I could go ahead and introduce myself. Keaton Powell here, small group sales rep with Humana, working with Cornerstone for a long time here, and sit in Louisville. And so I am the sales rep that handles all of your cases 2 to 50 eligible across all product lines. So Shannon, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning. I'm Shannon May, and I am your renewal retention executive. And I've been with Humana for a total of about 11 years now with a variety of roles. And this is my newest one. I'm excited to be working with you. I'm actually located in Wisconsin, but I'm happy to be here and appreciate the opportunity to share with you the news and exciting things we've got for you. And then it looks like Casey just joined. So maybe Casey, I will turn it over to you to say hello.
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is Casey Badura. I am the retention manager for our North region. So I am in charge of all of our client management on group sizes 2 to 99. And we appreciate you having us today, and we look forward to working with you.
And there's some other faces and names on the screen. Tisha Phillip is our director of client management, which would be 100 plus. And then for Ohio, we have Lynn on our team. She would be the retention executive, client executive for Ohio groups with 100 plus. And then Zach Redmond, large group sales rep that would handle anything 51 plus. So that is our team. And I'll kick it back over to Jolie.
All right, thank you, Keaton. I appreciate it. I'm sure that most of you all are familiar with the name Humana. We're a Fortune 50 health insurance company that's committed to the health of over 17 million members. We have been offering group benefits now for over 50 years, and we've always designed plans that offer our businesses and their employees a healthy, happy, and productive plan designs. Our group dental, vision, life, and disability plans offer exceptional service, large networks, and modern benefits that serve a broad range of member needs. What you're going to hear about today is the flexibility and the modernization within our products that can provide a great fit for a 2-life group all the way up to a 20,000 plus life group. As you all are all aware, Humana is a trusted insurer, and we're here to help members connect to care that exceeds their expectations and empowers their best physical and financial health. You can see here on the slide that we were rated #1 amongst health insurers for customer service experience in 2023. We take customer service and broker service very serious. It's really important to us to make sure that we're delivering the best in class when it comes to not only products, but to service as well. On the next slide there, you can see what our membership it looks like. You might not be familiar with all of the dental and vision membership that we have on the books, but we have over 14 million members on the books today, where, you know, traditionally within this market, we were bundling a lot of those products in the past. We've been a standalone carrier in some of our other markets for quite some time now. So you can see the breakdown there, about a little over 8 million dental members and a little over 6 million vision members. And that continues to grow every day, not only within those products, but also within the other products of our portfolio. And now we have Keaton. I'm going to turn it over to, back over to Keaton. He's going to talk a little bit about some of those dental and vision plan designs.
Sure. Yeah, just want to, I know a lot of you are already familiar with our dental plans, but want to touch on a few things that are new or a few reminders that make Humana unique in the marketplace. So Humana has the most robust preventative dental package in the industry. We include 3 cleanings and 4 perio-specific cleanings at 100%. And on the back end, we have what is called our extended annual max, which is kind of our answer to a rollover, but it's a lot more simple, and it's just a 30%, almost a 4th tier co-insurance. So if you have a 180/50 plan design, you could think of this almost as a 4th tier benefit with 30% co-insurance on the back end for those members that exhaust their annual max. And just some numbers, you know, and stats around that. Our membership, we see about 76% of our claims that come in are for those type 1 services, preventive services. So that's why we really designed this for a member-focused plan design, and wanted to make sure that we covered those. The reason why we did 4 perio-specific cleanings is because 50% of Americans over the age of 30 actually have periodontal disease. And so they recommend that they get perio-specific cleanings on a quarterly basis. So that's why we've included those 4 cleanings free of charge. It covered 100% under preventative. And then we have, you know, enhancements and other riders that are available that are very common in the industry, such as a waive preventive towards annual max. I think that's a very strong story to present to groups. This could free up, you know, maybe another $400 to go towards their annual max when you're thinking about plan designs. And then we have what is called our unlimited annual max. And yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. It is kind of our way of competing against maybe a richer benefit than a 2,000 annual max. So we have a 2,000, and then we can go all the way up to a unlimited. And it's actually priced pretty competitive. I ran one just the other day for a group that had a 3,000 annual max, and the unlimited annual max came in around the same price. So if you have a group that has a rich benefit today, or groups that are looking for a very rich dental offering, then definitely keep the unlimited annual max in mind. We have a specialty discount program that comes included with just being a Humana specialty member. So think of those things such as a partnership with Byte, B-Y-T-E, which is a Invisalign or clear aligner provider. So your members will get percentage off retail. And then if their plan includes ortho, they actually will get in-network discounts through Byte providers. We also have a hearing aid partnership with Audicus and much more. So let us know if that's something that groups would be interested in taking advantage of, and we can share more information on that. The plan designs, we have our traditional preferred, PPO plans, and preventative plus. I think, you know, here recently I've been running a lot of preventive plus to cover those preventative services at 100% for those members that want, you know, just their regular 2 cleanings, and then looking at maybe a buy up with 10 enrolled. Once we have 10 enrolled, we can do dual choice. And I think the preventive plus with a traditional preferred or a PPO plan can be a really good story to tell for those members. And so we do have, you know, a lot of bells and whistles on our standard traditional preferred plans. There are costs associated with that. So, you know, if this is a price conversation and we need to look at ways that we can reduce the premium and compete more apples to apples in the industry, we did roll out what is called our flex plans, which you will see on the right-hand side of the screen here. And basically what that did was strip out some of those extra cleanings. It does not have an extended annual max on the back end, and it moves oral surgery into Class 3 services, which again, this compares us and our plan design more closely to our competition out in the marketplace. And we would be happy to review, statements and show you where this could make sense. Again, you have all of the annual maximums available and all of your additional available riders available on those flex plans. And coming out on the quote, you should see that the flex plan is somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 8% lower than the standard traditional preferred plans on the left-hand side. I will touch on our network next. As Jolie mentioned, our membership is growing, our network is growing. We're a national carrier. We have, over 118,000 national providers. In the state of Ohio specifically, we have over 3,700. And now we are a top 2 network in the Cincinnati MSA area. But really, I think across Ohio, you'll see that our network is strong. So regardless of where you sit or where your groups sit, this is something that, we can definitely hang our hat on. As you can see, we have boots on the ground, recruiters going out and meeting with providers. We have a lot going on, just a really good recruitment team, and we've been able to increase our network 50% since 2016. And I'll touch on some vision updates here. One thing that is new probably in our quotes that you might be seeing is our Vision Plus plans, which gives members a $0 eye exam and an extra $50 frame allowance when they visit their Plus providers. So this is still part of the Humana Insight Network. It will just call out a couple specific providers, in that area that have agreed to become Plus providers. And this is a great way to look at maybe, a 180 plan where we don't match up exactly, but maybe we can run and quote a 150 frame allowance. And then if they go to Vision Plus 150, they would get a $200 frame allowance at that provider. New since the last time we probably presented to you all, Walmart and Sam's Club is in the Vision Network, making it the most comprehensive vision network in the industry today. I think that this number speaks for itself. 99% of the vision claims that we process came from in-network providers. So there shouldn't be any concerns or issues with finding a vision provider with Humana Insight. And again, new since we probably last presented to you all, we have done a life refresh, so product refresh in 2023, which gave us just more flexible, more competitive, greater GI amounts, and, just to have the ability to match just about anything out there in the market today when we're quoting. One thing that I will call out is that employees can increase their voluntary life policy by $25,000 each year with no EOI required. That is unique to Humana, and it does allow them to go up to the plan max. And that could be somebody that didn't enroll on Vol Life last year, but is looking to at least get $25,000 this year at open enrollment, and can get that $25,000 benefit without EOI. And so, more flexible, more modern, and just let us know if there's anything that you want to see with life or have any questions. We have kind of changed our bundling discounts here recently. This is a very strong offering for groups with 2 to 150 eligible employees. So as you can see, the more lines you sell, the greater the discount. And this is off of each product. So this will be off of, whatever product, whatever combination of products that you sell or the group has. And this also includes adding new lines to existing groups. So I want to make sure that we touch on that. So if this is a dental only group today and they decide to add vision and life, now they have 3 lines with us. So we would give them 4% discount off the vision and 7% off the life when it's added. So let us know on those existing groups how we can help add lines or on new lines, bundling lines together now that we offer dental, vision, life, and disability. And the last thing I will touch on is our new partnership with our chamber partners at the Northern Kentucky Chamber. You can see the extended rate guarantees that are available for no cost on the right-hand side. 3-year rate guarantee for dental, 4-year rate guarantee for vision, 5-year for life, and 2 years for disability. This would also apply, just so you're aware, if you have groups that are in Louisville or Lexington. We have a chamber partnership in Louisville and in Lexington. So let us know if members are interested in becoming members of the chamber or are currently members of the chamber, and we will provide a quote that has discounted rates as well as extended rate guarantees. And this, unlike our medical chamber partnership, does cross over into Southern Ohio, so the surrounding counties on the river, just over in Southern Ohio. So they don't have to be just domiciled in Kentucky anymore. This will include and pick up some of those counties, and I can share more information on that if you would like. But let us know for the chamber groups that you have coming up, probably here on 6/1. And then I will kick it over to this disability introduction, and Jolie is going to take that.
Yeah, thanks, Keaton. I appreciate that. So, some people might think when it comes to ancillary products that, they're really just extras and great benefits when employees have that disposable income and able to purchase them. But I really just think the opposite. To me, ancillary benefits are just as important as your medical or your RX coverage, because it's a lot of times it is the preventative services and exams that are benefits through dental and vision, for instance, that can detect a chronic condition early on. It can help to reduce the risk by looking and finding through a vision exam that someone maybe has, is pre-diabetic. So that is why I feel like these products are just so important. But the one that I'm truly most passionate about is disability. And that's because disability is there as income replacement. And let's face it, if you're going out on disability, probably the last thing that you want to be dealing with and have the stress and strain of is anything related to finances. So offering disability just really helps an employer be able to offer that extra protection for their employees when really they need it most. I saw a statistic that just to me, I thought was really alarming and just again solidified the need for disability. And that is that less than half of the adults in the US have 3 months of expenses covered in their savings, or can cover 3 months of expenses with their savings. So again, if you are without your income, you having disability coverage is definitely going to help add that added protection. So when we talk about disability and really defining disability and how we're going to determine whether or not a member is eligible, there's really 2 components. So there is loss of duties and loss of earnings. And a word that you heard me say in there is the word and that's because a lot of contracts will require both of these in order to consider someone disabled and eligible for benefits. We do have the option to offer an or contract. So that is something that is available. Our standard, though, that we're going to quote with is the and contract, which would require a member to have loss of duties and loss of earnings. However, if you do want to see that or contract, let us know, because that is something that we can provide. And it really does set us apart being able to provide that type of contract. On the next slide, it gives you some examples or what are some of the things that short-term and long-term disability would be used for. So short-term disability is going to be for those injuries or accidents or illnesses that are going to be a little more short-lived. Typically, you're going to see a disability product last anywhere from 13 to 26 weeks. So that could be something like pregnancy, maybe you have a broken bone, some type of mental health care, or even substance abuse treatment. Those are some of the things that you will find covered under short-term disability. Long-term disability is going to be for things that are a lot longer in length. So think about when a longer rehabilitation that might be associated with, say, someone who's had a heart attack or a stroke, or they've been diagnosed with cancer, or something that's going to be last beyond, say, that 13 or 26 week benefit that they have covered under short-term disability, if they have coverage for that. So that's the differences between those two coverages. Next slide, if you don't mind, Keaton. So one of the things we want to ensure is that not only do we have a contract and do we have a great product that's going to be able to provide our members with the coverage that they need, but at the time of when they do file a claim, we want to make sure that it's handled accurately and efficiently. And so what you're going to find is we've really got the best in class when it comes to claims management. We are really outcome driven with our results. So there's going to be features within our product that are going to be focused on rehabilitation and getting that member back to work. When you take a look at the experience of our claims team, on average, each one of our claim representatives have at least 15 years of experience. So they're very experienced, and that's what you want for someone who is handling claims that are, sensitive in nature, such as disability claims are. Also, too, we have various ways that we're communicating with our members. We also have bilingual support, which is becoming more and more important. And there's also reports that are available to the employer that would give them information on payments and claims and things of that nature. Next slide. So talking about claims and what a member's experience would look like, this just gives you a little bit of an idea of what that member's experience might be. We do have telephonic claim intake. 80% of our calls are answered within 30 seconds, and we have less than a 3% abandonment rate. So, people are not sitting on the phone getting frustrated and hanging up. There's someone who's answering the call. But really what's most important is, and I mentioned before, is that we want to accurately and efficiently get these claims started for a member at time of need. And so 93% of our STD claims, a decision is made within 5 days. So again, a very efficient and accurate turnaround timeline for our members so that we can get, if they do qualify and deemed disabled and eligible for benefits, that we can get that payment started. Some things that make our short-term disability product a little bit different than some of the others that are out there. You'll see here on the top, it's really one of my favorite features that we offer, and that is on voluntary short-term disability. We offer a rider that would allow for a 2-week or 4-week benefit when a member is faced with a condition that falls within the pre-existing limits. And so to give you an example, that would be, that's a member who has signed up for the voluntary short-term disability plan. They have been paying premiums and they go to file a claim, and it is determined that that condition is not going to be covered due to the fact that it was pre-existing prior to when this coverage was in place. And so with this additional feature that can be added on, that member would receive either a 2-week or a 4-week flat benefit, so that they didn't feel as though they were just paying into a benefit all this time and then it wasn't there when they needed it. They would get something. Also, too, we are not going to offset if an employer is offering some type of salary continuation or an employee has PTO available, that as long as their benefit coupled with the disability benefit, and whether it be salary continuation or PTO, as long as that does not exceed 100%, we're not going to offset for it. And so what that means is that, let's say you were getting a 60% benefit, and then, you wanted to use some PTO days in order to get that benefit, to get your benefit to be at 100% of pre-disability earnings, then you could do that. Now, if for some reason someone said, okay, I'm going to use a couple extra PTO days, and now I'm going to be at 110 or 20% of my pre-disability earnings, that wouldn't be allowed. We would then in turn offset for that. So again, we want people to be able to provide for them and provide this income, but we also don't want it to be greater to what they were making prior to the disability, because our purpose here is to get them back to work. Then on the long-term disability, you're going to find a lot of features and riders that can be added on here. Some of the things that do set us apart and make us different from some of our competitors, as you'll see there, is that no maximum capacity or 40-hour work week is required. There's no initial earnings loss requirement. The self-reported conditions limit, we can offer a 2-year or a 1-year limit on that. So again, those are just some of the things that are different. But on this next slide are some of the riders that you can add on that I like to point out because I really feel like they're really important. So the first one there, especially now more than ever, it's often referred to as COLA. It's the cost of living adjustment. That allows for the benefit to adjust with inflation during the term of the policy. So, if you think about it, if you're on LTD and you've been on for quite some time, that benefit that you were receiving a few years ago may not, it may not cover everything that it did, today that it did a couple years ago. So again, it does allow for keeping up with inflation. Also, waiver of premium. So this allows for the premium to be covered while the employee is disabled. Same thing goes for that medical premium supplement. This one would pay the medical premium for the member. Again, very important because that's going to be a benefit more than likely that they're going to be utilizing if they're out on disability. So those are just a few things that are some riders that you can add on to the benefit. And then EAP. So our EAP product is offered to any group that purchases at least 3 lines of coverage, as long as either LTD or STD are one of those products. So a member purchases dental, life, and STD, then EAP would be included. A member purchases vision, LTD, and STD, EAP is also going to be included. So again, that's at no additional charge as long as 3 lines of coverage are purchased and one of them is a disability line. In terms of what we need from a quoting perspective, you'll see here we need a census and anything that is over 150 lives for short-term disability, we would ask for experience. Anything 500 plus on LTD, we would ask for experience. Something too that I didn't mention yet, and that is that we offer composite rates on any groups that are 5 or more employees. So that's something that we recently changed up until about 2 months ago. We were only offering that on 10 plus groups, but something that you will find within our offerings is that we're very flexible when it comes to that 2 to 9 life group. And it's even better now that we can offer composite rates on groups 5 plus. Let's see. I think I hit everything pretty much here on this one. I think, is that my last slide? All right, so I want to just kind of wrap it up here with disability. And we have, of course we can go into more detail, but I've not come across a plan yet that we have not been able to match. One of the things when we brought, you may be familiar with or you may have sold disability with us in the past. This is a completely different product. This is our product, so we're controlling the underwriting and we're controlling the pricing, and it is really just allowing for more flexibility. And so you're going to find a lot of flexibility and multiple offerings for groups that are, 2 plus, and you're going to be able to have more options that maybe you might not see with some of the other carriers in that 2 to 9 space. But again, these products are built to be able to offer solutions for any group size 2 plus. So 2 all the way up to 20,000 plus. All right, and I think we lost Keaton. He may be coming back. All right, I think there he is.
You're gonna lose me in 1 minute. So,
okay.
And that's just because of mandatory restart. It's a Humana thing, and there's no getting around it. So, I will stop sharing my screen in case anybody else wants to go back and view other slides. I don't see any questions in the question box. Maybe Bobby, if you could confirm that, or if you've gotten anything.
Yep.
Okay.
I've got a couple questions here. So one was, what is the minimum enrollment for standalone for each of these lines? So like standalone dental.
So we can technically write down to 1 on a voluntary dental plan. Standalone vision would require 5 eligible and 5 enrolled. Life, I believe, is down to 2, 50% minimum participation. So, and then disability depends on funding. Oh, I'm probably going to go, but probably depends on funding. If you're non-contributory, down to 2 lives. If you're contributory, it would be a 25% participation requirement or 4 lives. And then same with voluntary disability, it would be 10 plus required eligible. And then we would be able to go down to 25% or 4 enrolled.
Okay. Another question is for employer paid versus voluntary rates. What is that based on? Is that contribution, participation?
So for dental, yes, for voluntary, as long as we have 50% participation, then we can rate that as employer sponsored.
And what about like the vision? Is that the same as well, or?
Yes, sorry. Dental and vision, yes.
Okay. And then another question you guys talked about the chambers with Lexington, Louisville, Northern Kentucky. Do you guys just need an email from the chamber, or what are we doing to confirm that it's active?
So you can give, if the group has, a bill or something just showing their membership, we can always double check it with the chamber. We work alongside of them quite a bit, so it's usually not a problem if we need to just look it up in the membership guide or membership.
Okay. That was all the questions we have, but if anyone else comes up with questions, be sure to reach out to your Cornerstone broker advisor. We can get those answered for you. So, Humana, thank you for your time today.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it.